Hi, my name is Christopher Hancock. I'm 27 years old, and I'm an actor based in New York City. That's a good question. How did I get started acting? I guess it started when I was little. I was like, my mom had me modeling like baby Pampers and baby formula, and so I saw those pictures, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should kind of do something creative. Around 17ish, I wanted to go to acting school, so I went to college for acting. But then eventually switched my major to business because I didn't have any money, like most people from where I'm from. And then now that I graduated and I'm working full time, I decided to get back into it a couple of years ago, and so that's what I'm doing now. So for the last like 4 years or so, I've been going at it. So it's pretty good. I love getting a character, and I love having to embody that character. Like, how does this character think? Like, what does he do? Like, how would he react to the situation? Like, what problems is this character facing at this moment? And I love those moments. I love having to do the homework of like bringing a character to life, and so that's what I enjoy most about it. All aspects have their pros and cons. I guess the hate aspect would come from the business side of acting, that's raising money for individual projects, like short films, if you want to do a feature, um, auditioning, castings, like waiting to hear back from various producers, directors, like post production. All these things like kind of are like not the best, but they're part of the process. So you just have to just roll with it. I guess like most actors, they want to be on the big screen and like in like, Hollywood and all that, the red carpet, Oscars and stuff like that. Ideally, I would love to have these goals. I would love to be at the Oscars. I would love to be a well-known actor amongst the other talented actors that are out there. But things take time, and I tell the other actors as well, like not to rush, and kind of like keep like a tunnel vision and kind of focus on your own goals and not just kind of compare yourself to others, because like when you're ready and when the timing is right for you, then you'll get there, and it'll just happen, and you'll like that. If someone came to me and said, Chris, I want to become an actor today, like what do I do? Like what are the steps that I need to take? I would tell them to like get their chops immediately. Hop in a classroom and do their research on um, what acting school to go to. There are some that just kind of take your money, but do your research. Go to an acting school. Find a teacher that's going to criticize you, because that's what you need. You'll never get better by someone just saying, "Oh, like that's good. Like what you did was good." You need someone that's going to say, "Hey, this is terrible. Like you weren't in the moment at this point in time. Like you need to do this instead." You need someone that's going to be willing to be honest with you, because honesty builds up your skill set and it makes you better as an actor. Some of my best teachers have been the ones that have been most hard on me, because I think, "Oh, I just killed that scene. Like, oh, that was so good." And they're just like, "I didn't believe anything you just did." And I'm just like, "Wow, okay, now I need to dig deeper." So um, those teachers will really like those teachers that are hard on you will get a lot of students hating them, but at the end of the day, like those are the ones that build the best actors, because they are willing to put aside their personal feelings to help you become better. I have a ton. There's so many great actors. Most of mine are older. Um, Tom Hanks will be my number one. Denzel will be my number two, and then my number three would be a tie, a two-way tie between Will Smith and Leonardo DiCaprio. I love both of those guys, so I'll give them a tie. But Tom Hanks is my number one because he makes a lot of movies that I love, and I see him act in certain roles, and I'm just like, wow, I actually believe him. I believe his character. Denzel is another great actor. He does very well in a lot of roles that he's done. Um, but I think Tom Hanks just has that range where he's played that like sweet lover boy. He's played the kind of like innocent, like I don't know anything boy, in like in Forrest Gump. He's played like Captain Phillips. Like he's played in a war. Like he's done, his range is just out of this world, and I love him for that. I used to have so many crushes before I became an actor, and then it's weird because like when you see people on TV, you're like, oh, like like this person's on TV, and then like when you become an actor and you start to see yourself on TV, and you start to see yourself on screen, you kind of like become one with those people, and you start to meet these people, and so I wouldn't say I have a crush now, but I did have a huge crush on Selena Gomez when I was a kid. Um, I don't want to speak for everyone, but a lot of guys I know had a crush on her in High School Musical, and actually had the biggest crush on Christina Milian and Love Don't Cost a Thing. I've probably watched that movie like 50 times, and I still have the DVD in my room. So if Christina Milian ever like stumbles across this, I had a crush on you when I was like 15, middle school, high school, whatever, and so those are my two crushes, I guess. Like I said, I've done in my time acting, I've worked with all great directors, well, great actors too. A lot of great directors. Every director has had their different how they work differently on set. Some are like, all right, let's get a million takes, a million takes, a million takes. Some are like, oh, one take, that's good, that's all I need. And then some are just like, some give the actors like a little like leeway to do their thing. So I work with all great directors, but my personal favorite is the director I worked with on TV show I did, Shattered, Justin Stanley. He directed and shot, and he was really good because we made a lot of adjustments that like I wasn't necessarily used to, and it was very improv based. And like he got after seeing the final product, I was like, wow, like this is like crazy. I kind of like saw his vision on camera, and so I would say he's the best director I've worked with. The short answer to is acting a full-time job for me. The short answer would be no. Simply because I work now, I have a full-time job, but I do put in the full-time hours that it requires to be an actor, and that includes preparation for auditions, memorizing lines, applying to certain things like fixing your portfolio, purchasing headshots, editing your website, editing your reel. All those things are what you need to do as an actor, and those take time, and I spend a lot of time doing that every day. So I put in the full-time hours, but I'm not solely doing acting right now. I wish, though. I wish. My favorite movie is Big from Tom Hanks. Just because it was like, I don't know if you remember this, but back when there were like VHSs, you had to watch movies on a VHR or a VCR. I'm sorry, I don't even remember a VCR. Those were the days. Like I felt a lot of those movies kind of hit home for me, and Big was a really great movie. You should watch it. I think it came out in like either the late '80s or early '90s. But this kid kind of like plays this game, and then he gets to be an adult, but he's still like a kid inside. And so as a kid, I was watching it, and I was like, wow, he gets to do adult things, but he's a kid. I'm like, that's amazing. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh wow, I wish I could be a kid again. So it kind of like relates to both sides of my life. But my favorite book at the moment is a book I just read from Meisner. It's the Meisner Technique. And basically, the Meisner Technique, I'll quickly summarize it for you, is that you just look at someone and you react based on what they're doing. You call it out, and then you just repeat, 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 go back and forth, and you just keep calling out whatever the person is doing until you kind of create like a little scene, essentially. And helped me like better my technique. It helped me to understand what to do when I needed to dig deeper and kind of get to certain emotional viewpoints of the character. And the teacher, like I just kind of felt like I was in his class, because it's like based on a true story, I guess. It like kind of tells the perspective of students in his class, and it makes you feel like you're just in his like acting studio, and you're going through all the same problems that all of his students were going through when they were trying to become actors. So it's definitely a good book. It's well written, and it taught me a lot. So I'm really big on legacy, a huge legacy person, and that kind of stems back to like me starting acting and why I wanted to do acting. Like I just decided that I no longer wanted to work in finance like for the rest of my life. I do that now, but I just saw myself. I'm like, why would I want to do this 40 years, like for 40 more years? I don't like it now. Like nothing's going to change as I get older. I'm not going to have more appreciation for sitting behind a desk. And, I decided, he's like, you know what? I need to create a legacy that people can see and people can look back on when I pass. And so a lot of music, a lot of music, a lot of movies, a lot of these actors and musicians have died, but people still listen to the music, and it makes them feel nice, and I want people to kind of watch my work after I die, and I want to be remembered. So that's definitely my legacy. There are a lot of interesting actors that I've worked with, that I'm friends of friends with. I would say the actor that you guys should interview next is an actor I haven't worked with, but I do know him. His name is Jesse Martin. He's talented. He's a producer, started out producing. Now he's done some feature films. He's done some shorts, TV roles, commercials. So he's done a lot of work, and I look up to him as an actor. He's doing very well, and I'm sure he would have a lot of interesting things to say.